The protagonist, usually a young woman who finds herself unexpectedly bound to a powerful, dangerous leader. The alpha, the setting. While many alpha stories focus on werewolves, this specific title hints at an aquatic or maritime twist, featuring sirens, mermen, or powerful coastal shifters. The conflict. It revolves around the tension between the protagonist's fear of the alpha's reputation and the undeniable fated bond, the mate bond, that draws them together.
When I woke up again, I was at the auction with Serafina. The mate claim is our clan's law. A woman's standing rises and falls entirely with the merman she's bonded to. So last life, when I was maneuvered into taking Serafina's leftover, a merman whose tail hung in broken scales, I had no choice. I bled my heart essence for 49 days before he was barely healed. I hunted abyssal cores at every turn, pouring them into him to elevate his bloodline. Yet the first thing he became the Siren King was to kill me, his mate, as well as our unborn baby. This is my second chance. I won't make the same mistake.
I want this one.
Seraphine's voice cut me back to the present. She pointed towards the enormous tank in front of us. She chose Silas? My eyes found Silas instantly, cowering at the very back of the holding tank. A merman's greatest pride is his tail. Every other tail in that water prison shimmered, rippling like silk ribbons in a dark current. Silas's tail was stripped nearly bare, scales shed down to raw, ragged flesh. Serafina, pack heiress and eldest daughter, exactly as she had in our last life, gestured lazily toward the two mermen at the back.
Alara, let's just take those two, shall we? Decide fast before someone else snaps up the good one.
In my last life, I had believed every word. Mermen didn't come cheap, and I had assumed even Serafina wouldn't deliberately choose the most broken creature in the tank, but she had. She had actually purchased the barely breathing Silas. Our father had erupted in fury over it.
Father, Alora picked him herself, you know how she is. I only paid. I chose the strong one. I'm taking mine now.
And just like that, the half-dead wreck called Silas had been handed to me. This life, I would not fall for a single word, and called my bid before she could speak.
Take what you want, Serafina.
I pointed at the stone-faced merman in the corner.
I want that one.
It didn't matter who I chose. If I turned the broken, helpless Silas into a Siren King, I could do it with anyone. Every creature in this tank would surpass him with the right hand guiding them. This time, I just wanted one who would be loyal. Serafina's smile thinned when she realized the hook hadn't landed.
Alara, you gave us a fixed amount. If you use it all, what's left for me?
I gave her a single flat look. How had I spent an entire lifetime missing how well she could perform? She had engineered this from the start. Push the broken merman onto me, keep me weak, keep herself on top. Her trap had been set the moment we walked through these auction doors. I stared straight at Silas, who was pressing himself against the tank wall, performing desperately for any buyer.
That one doesn't look bad. Feed him right and he might amount to something. If you really can't afford your pick, buy him.
Serafina laughed, sharp and incredulous.
I wouldn't want him to warm my bed.
I smiled, but there was nothing warm in it. Poor Silas. In our last life, he had actually believed I was the one who separated them. He had never known that Serafina wouldn't have had him on a bet. As in our last life, Serafina claimed her merman Jace without hesitation. But as I walked out with my merman Kaylin, something slammed against the walls of the holding tank. Silas, thrashing.
Is he trying to get someone's attention? Broken thing like that?
I glanced at Silas's frantic movement, then at Serafina, who had gone very still. Had Silas also been reborn? His panic made sense. The woman he had spent his whole life loving had just walked away without him. I caught the fractured blue of his eyes through the water and smiled. When a dream you've chased for a lifetime shatters in an instant, that has to hurt. This life, no one punished me for leaving Silas behind. Kaylin stood before me, his tail slapping the floor in slow, rhythmic strikes.
Can you shift to human form?
He pressed his lips together and pulled the tail in, obedient but clearly reluctant. Unlike the others, there was no relief on his face, no gratitude for being purchased. Looking closer, his blue eyes held something else entirely, cold detachment and a pride that hadn't been broken yet.
You don't want to come home with me?
Kaylin glanced at me once and said nothing.
As far as I know, the holding tanks run on hierarchy. Without a buyer, you fight every day just to hold your rank. I can protect that rank, right now.
He moved to the chair farthest from me and sat.
I'm not the wreck who got his tail beaten to pieces.
One sentence, and I was already smiling. He was right. For a merman to have his tail destroyed like that, what was that, if not useless?
If you don't want to stay, the door is open.
Something flickered in Kalen's blue eyes. He was tempted. I could see it. Before he could act on it, I stood up.
What are you doing?
Since you don't want to be here, I'll go select a different merman. I'm building a siren king. I have no room for someone with a divided heart.
In my peripheral vision, Kalen looked at me with something new on his face. Becoming the Siren King was every merman's deepest ambition. He had the raw power, but raw power could be cultivated in anyone. A backstabber like Silas wasn't worth the investment.
The auction is over!
I turned and smiled at him.
A family that can afford a merman a sentinel nest in the first place? You think we worry about finding another one?
The next several days, I left early and returned late. Kalen hadn't left, but I needed my own contingency plans. What I didn't expect, the moment I stepped onto the street that afternoon, Silas came staggering toward me.
Laura! Why didn't you take me?
He threw his arms around my legs.
Take me with you, please. You were always supposed to choose me.
My heartbeat stuttered exactly once.
What did you just say?
Laura, look at me. Are you really not choosing me?
Silas gripped my legs tightly with both hands. That confirmed it. Silas had been reborn too, but if he got a second life, why was he coming to me instead of running straight to Serafina? I shook him off without expression.
What are you rambling about? Who is your owner? Don't come grabbing at strangers in the street.
I turned to walk away, but Silas chased after me recklessly, following closely in haste. I was half a second from losing my composure. Then I caught sight of Kalen, following at a distance behind me. My eyes shifted, calculating.
Your tail is badly damaged. Did the other mare shifters in the tank do this to you?
Silas blinked, then nodded quickly. In my peripheral vision, Kalen had drawn several steps closer. I ran my fingers along Silas's damaged tail, the same way I had in our last life. Every wound on his body had been healed by my hand. I knew exactly where the pressure felt good and where it burned. So when I pressed just right, a shudder rolled through Silas's entire body. He kept leaning into me, breathless.
Master, will you take me home?
I curved my lips.
Of course,
Before I could finish, Kalen launched forward, smashed Silas away with its tail. He slammed him violently onto the street 5 meters away. He planted himself in front of me, jaw set.
I haven't left yet.
Silas hit the pavement and couldn't get back up. Several failed attempts, then stillness. I blinked at Kalen with wide eyes.
Was that really necessary? Didn't you say you were leaving? Why stop me from finding another merman?
The hands hanging at Kalen's sides curled into slow fists.
I'm not leaving.
Satisfaction curved my mouth upward. Mermen had their own will. Every one of them needed to be won, not forced. He had taken the first step. I would accept the olive branch. As for Silas, he dragged himself upright and crept forward again.
Master, you agreed just now. You were going to take me.
I slung my arm over Kalen's shoulder and gave Silas a bright little wave.
Sorry. I changed my mind.
Silas opened his mouth to protest and moved one step forward. Kalen's tail cracked down onto the pavement directly in front of him.
One more step, and the next thing that breaks will be your bones.
When the tail lifted, I looked at the cracked stone beneath it. Kalen was, without question, in another league from Silas. Vent another betrayal, I forced Kalen through the blood bond ritual.
You can actually make me Siren King?
I said nothing. A master speaks, she doesn't explain herself. In my last life, I had poured everything into making Silas a king, and forgotten to make myself stronger first. If Kalen performed, the title was his. If he showed one flicker of divided loyalty, he would spend this lifetime as nothing but a bedwarmer.
If you don't want to walk out, then don't.
I turned to leave, but before I'd taken a single step, Kalen drew a blade across his own tail and pressed the blood from it.
I'll do it.
After the bond sealed, Kalen stood beside me, stiff and stilted.
I'm your merman now.
Up close, a faint flush had crept across his pale face. Oddly endearing, I tilted my chin toward the bed,
Go lie down.
just to watch his reaction. Kalen's face went a deeper red. He shuffled to the bed, one careful step at a time, and let his bleeding tail hang off the edge so it wouldn't stain the sheets.
What are you doing?
The crimson flooding his face nearly made me laugh.
All that menace, and this was what was underneath it? I ran a deliberate hand along his tail. You know the custom. When our family brings home a merman, there's a mate claim, which means, technically, you're my husband now.
Kalen said nothing, but the moment my fingers made contact, his tail gave a small, involuntary shiver. Our eyes met, and something in his expression shifted, a quiet resignation, and he closed his eyes. A soft laugh escaped me as I turned and reached for the medical kit. With his eyes still shut, I leaned in and blew a gentle breath across his bleeding wound.
Does it hurt?
Kalen's tail began to sway side to side in small, helpless arcs. In merman body language, that meant only one thing: pleasure. I packed the wound and settled back into my chair.
Stay out of water for a few days. It'll heal. Less painful now?
The flush hadn't left Kalen's face. He darted one glance at me and turned to look pointedly at the wall.
Hirus doesn't belong on my tail.
Then why was it still swaying?
Once his tail healed, we fell into a daily training rhythm. Unlike my last life, this time I trained too. What kind of woman builds a siren king and leaves herself defenseless? We hadn't been at it long when Serafina arrived with her merman, Jace.
My little sister, so committed you've thrown yourself into the sparring too. You spent so long choosing at the auction I expected something impressive, but honestly, he's not even half of what my Jace is.
I stopped and looked at Serafina and Jace without expression. Jace was built impressively, yes, but in our last life he had been thoroughly ordinary, and Serafina was no handler. After her mate claim, our father had handed house authority to me instead. I said nothing, but Kalen stepped in front of me.
A mermaid, challenging me? Let me make this clear. I am this family's pack heiress, and when the time comes, I run this house. Jace, teach him.
Jace lunged. Kalen moved without urgency. He even had time to guide me to a clear position before turning to face the attack. Good. I wanted to see what he could actually do. The two of them clashed hard, but within a handful of exchanges, it was obvious Jace was losing ground. Serafina, who had opened with absolute confidence,
Kill him! Just kill him! Why are you holding back? Finish him and I'll take the blame!
Jace showed no visible improvement, but Kalen had stopped pulling his strikes. He was half a second away from crushing Jace's shoulder completely. Nah, Serafina screamed.
How dare you! Alara! Look at what your pet did to my merchant!
I smiled.
Serafina, weren't you the one who let Jake start it? You were screaming at him to kill Kalen. Everyone present heard you.
Serafina couldn't win the argument, so she crossed the floor and put herself in my face.
If Jace is injured, I will have father come down on you so
He
hard!
cost a fortune.
I held her gaze for a long moment.
Then told Kalen to let Jace go.
Smart girl. Eldest is eldest. No matter what, this house will never be yours to run.
She snatched Jace by the arm and swept out, hurling curses the entire way.
I should have finished him.
What's the rush?
Serafina had taken her first loss. She would come back with real hatred now. Let her rage. Let her spiral.
The one who goes mad first loses everything.
Serafina began watching me the way a predator watches an open wound. I had expected her to undermine me in front of our father. What I hadn't expected, she had brought Silas home and put into work as a house servant. The moment he blocked my path in the corridor and begged, my step stuttered.
How are you here?
Serafina stepped out from around the corner, smiling, with our father right behind her.
So the rumors are true.
I stared at her.
What rumors?
Father's expression was stone.
Elora, you already have a mate claim. Why are you still tangled up with him? Your sister was fortunate enough to run into him today. She brought him here to keep him quiet, otherwise your reputation would be ruined.
I had no words. Serafina strolled toward me with pure delight on her face, hooking Silas's chin up with the toe of her shoe.
Little sister, he's been asking around outside, trying every connection he has to get through our gates to reach you. You should have said something. If there was something between you two, you could just bought him at the auction. Why bother bringing Kalen home?
The more she talked, the darker father's face became.
Elara, clean this up or get out of this house.
He turned and left without another word. Serafina beamed at me.
My capable little sister. Take your time sorting it out.
Silas knelt half on the floor, his face tilted up toward mine, his eyes full of naked wanting.
You love being near me that much? Then stay.
Better to keep him where I could watch him than to throw him out blind. In this life, without my heart essence, Silas surviving it all was already uncertain. He started drifting through every room I occupied. Kalen, on the other hand, had gone cold on me again. When I cornered him in the back garden one morning,
You're coming to me right now? Shouldn't you be with that pathetic Silas?
That whole scene on the street was staged.
You two tricked me into the blood bond.
Kalen's tail hit the ground in sharp, irritated slaps. I watched him with genuine interest.
You already bonded. There's no running from that. The real question is, do you still want to be Siren King?
He gave me a flat, suspicious look, like I was setting another trap.
There's a mermen tournament in 2 months. Whether you become Siren King depends entirely on what you do with that time.
Really? There's truly nothing between you and that merman?
I was half a breath from swearing on it. Kalen finally let out a grudging huff and fell into step beside me. We drilled repeatedly in the training field, while Silas kept finding reasons to wander past.
Let me break his tail. See how he walks after that.
Kalen!
I have plans for him.
All that heart essence I'd fed him in our last life
Was not going to be wasted.
he walked right up to us.
What happened next was on him.